Hello, guys. I just wanted to take this test because, well, I just needed a little bit more confirmation, and at least one that is a little bit more specific than the political compass. And I just wanted to try it out. Alright. Oppression by corporations is more of a concern by oppression by governments. I don't know. I feel like these are both very, very important concerns. These are both very, very crazy topics that are very, very prominent, to be honest. I honestly feel like some of these are mixed in, to be honest. But if I had to say, a little slightly agree. It is necessary for the government to intervene in the economy to protect consumers. I mean, I'm probably going to agree with that. That would probably result in a monopoly. Probably where we would head in about 30 years or so. The freer the markets, the freer the people. How free are those markets? We don't want, anarcho-capitalism. That's particularly not a good ideology. I probably have an argument for me from 2 years ago, but there can exist some sort of free trade. So it's better to maintain a balanced budget to ensure welfare for all citizens. Strongly disagree. Publicly funded research is more beneficial than people leaving it to the market. Exactly. That would have extreme political influence over, just facts in general would be heavily skewed by corporations. Tariff on international trade are important to encourage local production. Yeah. I think that internationalism has been an extremely hard problem and has generally been a loophole for most modern day large stuff. Alright, we're about 10% of the way through. From each according to his ability, from each according to his needs, as a Karl Marx quote. And I don't even think you really need to be a socialist behind this one. It'd be best if social programs were abolished in favor of private charity. No, social programs. I didn't believe that there can be private charities, but I don't think that should mean that social programs should be abolished. Taxes should be increased on the rich to provide for the poor. Yeah. Inheritance is a legitimate form of wealth? No way. Basic utilities like roads and electricity should be publicly owned. Yeah, they're basic, and government intervention is a threat to the economy. Agree. Those with greater ability should be able to pay, should be able to receive better health care. I do believe that if you have that money to spend on that, then that's totally fine, but I do not think that that should be at the risk of having a medical plan for everyone. Quality education is a right of all people, yes. Means of production should belong to the workers who use them, yeah. United Nations should be abolished, no. Military action by our nation is necessary to protect it. I'm gonna be neutral because it depends on the conflict. I support regional unions such as the European Union, yes. It's important to maintain our national sovereignty. Sometimes united government would be beneficial to mankind. I think it's important to have separate countries because it would create a lot more problems for different cultures. It'd be important to retain peaceful relations to further our strength. Exactly. Wars do not need to be justified to other countries. I think that, I don't really get the quoting of this, but I think that what they're trying to say is that we should go into a war no matter what. If it's justified or not, then I'm going to strongly disagree. Military spending is a waste of money. Agree. International aid is a waste of money. Sometimes a nation is great. Well, no. Research should be conducted on an international scale. Governments should be accountable to the international community. Absolutely. When protesting and authoritarian violence is not acceptable. Go either way. Religious values should not be spread possible. If I had them. Our nation's values should be spread as much as possible. Well, in the current status quo, definitely not. It's very important to maintain law and order. Strongly disagree. General populace makes poor decisions. Strongly disagree. Physician assist suicide equal, I guess. Sacrifice to some civil liberties is necessary. Strongly disagree. Government, strongly disagree. Strongly agree. Regardless of political opinions, it is important to side with the country. Strongly disagree. All authority should be questioned. Strongly agree. Hierarchical state is best. Strongly disagree. It's important if the government follows the majority opinion. Again, even if it is wrong. As I agree. Strongly agree. Democracy is more a decision. Is more than a decision-making process. Agree. Environmental regulations are essential. Yeah, considering this where we are now. Yeah. Where the world will come from automation, science, and technology. Strongly agree. Children disagree. Traditions of no value. Agree. Religion should play no role. Strongly agree. Strongly agree. Climate change is one of our greatest threats. I don't know if it's the greatest, but it's definitely probably somewhere in the top 10. It is important that we work as a united world to combat climate change. I do think that is a personal problem. I don't necessarily say that everybody has to work on it, and I'm not going to enforce other countries that don't want to. Society is better many years than it is now in some places, and some means, and yeah, important to maintain the traditions of our past. It is important that we think long term beyond our lifespans. Absolutely. Reason is more important than maintaining our culture. Agree. Absolutely agree. I'd be a hypocrite if that wasn't. No cultures are superior. Agree. Disagree. If we accept migrants of all, it is important that they assimilate into our cultures. Disagree. I think that they should. It shouldn't be completely in the dark, but I think that people generally have a nationalist approach to how we. And that's generally not a good thing. Be prohibited in most or all cases. No, ownership should be prohibited for those without a valid reason. Okay. Alright, so this is probably going to be the first thing people are going to give me flack for. Or generally, my opinions have been pretty basic, but I actually think that bang control is pretty bad, and I actually wanted to give you guys a reason, and I think that is personal, and I think it just has to do with personal things. I think that I'm not necessarily a huge fan, I don't even really own any, but I think the personal thing is that if you look in the past, whenever or we've banned something like that, like for example during the Prohibition era, it generally creates more room for people to it's a really hard law to follow, and there's going to be a lot of people that now are going to go to more dangerous places, like, if they start doing that. And to be honest, the best way to handle this is to change people's perceptions of it. If we immediately started taking, away, I think that would create a lot of tension. It would also create a lot of vacuum. It would probably create a lot of political corruption. So I'm just gonna go against the grain on that one. Agree. Maintaining family values. Strongly disagree. Oh, wait, genetic modification is neutral. Should be open to. Agree. Government should be just about. Agree. Strongly agree. It's important that we further my group's goal above all others. Strongly disagree. Alright, and let's look at that. Oh, hey, look. This is exactly what I thought. If you look, let's take a look at the economic axis first. Yeah, makes sense. It makes perfect sense. I am, yeah, not necessarily super, but like, it's definitely, well, like, a lot more than my country. Internationalists. Yeah, exactly. I think that, worlds and all that type of stuff. However, I do think that, foreign aid and getting into other people's wars is not generally something I favor. I'm surprised it's that far. Yeah, libertarian. Sorry, tankies, but yeah, I do believe that freedom is a necessity. It's absolutely it's like my main ideal, and then very progressive. I've always been very progressive. I've kind of closest match libertarian socialist. All right. So yeah, I think that's where I stand on some issues. And yeah,